Ordinarily, the artist is the most egoistic person in the world. But then he is not a true artist. He has used art as a means for his ego trip. Artists are very egoistic, constantly bragging about themselves and constantly fighting with each other. Everybody thinks that he is the first and the last. But this is not true art. The true artist disappears utterly. These other people are only technicians. I will not call them artists, but technicians. I will not call them creators. I will call them only composers. Yes, to compose a poem is one thing. To create a poem is quite another. To compose poetry, one needs to know language, grammar, and rules of poetry. It is a game with words, and if you know the whole game, you can create poetry. It will not be very poetic, but it will have the appearance of poetry. Technically, it may be perfect, but it will have only the body. The soul will be missing. The soul happens only when the artist disappears into his art. He is no longer separate. When the painter paints with such abandon that he is not there, so that he even feels guilty to sign his painting, because he knows he has not done it. Some unknown force has done it through him. He knows that he has been possessed. That has been the experience of all the really great artists down the ages. The feeling of being possessed. The greater the artist, the more clear the feeling is. And those who are the greatest, a Mozart, a Beethoven, a Kalidas, a Rabindranath Tagore, those who are the greatest are absolutely certain that they have been nothing but hollow. Bamboos and existence has been singing through them. They have been flutes, but the song is not theirs. It has flowed through them, but it comes from some unknown source. They have not hindered, that's all they have done, but they have not created it. This is the paradox. The real creator knows that he has not created anything. Existence has worked through him. It has possessed him, his hands, his being, and it has created something through him. He has been instrumental. This is real art, where the artist disappears. Then there is no question of ego. And then art becomes religious. Then the artist is a mystic, not only technically right, but existentially authentic. The less of the artist is in his work, the more perfect it is. When the artist is absolutely absent, then the creativity is absolutely perfect. In this proportion, you have to remember, the more the artist is present, the less perfect the product will be. If the artist is too much present, the product will be nauseating. It will be neurotic. It will be just ego. What else can it be? Ego is neurosis. And one thing more to be remembered. Ego always wants to be perfect. Ego is very perfectionistic. Ego always wants to be higher and better than others, hence, it is perfectionist. But through ego, perfection is never possible, so the effort is absurd. Perfection is possible only when the ego is not. But then one never thinks of perfection at all. So the real artist never thinks of perfection. He has no idea of perfection. He simply allows himself into a surrender, into a let go. And whatsoever happens, happens. The real artist thinks certainly of totality, but never of perfection. He wants to be totally in it, that's all. When he dances, he wants to disappear into the dance. He does not want to be there, because the presence of the dancer will be a disturbance in the dance. The grace, the flow, will be disturbed, obstructed. When the dancer is not there, all rocks have disappeared. The flow is very silent, smooth. The real artist certainly thinks of totality. How to be total? but never thinks of perfection. And the beauty is that those who are total are perfect. Those who think of perfection are never perfect, never total. On the contrary, the more they think of perfection, the more neurotic they become. They have ideals. They are always comparing and they are always falling short. If you have an ideal, that unless this ideal is fulfilled, you will not think yourself perfect. How can you be total in your act? If you think, for example, that you have to be a dancer like Nijinsky, then how can you be total in your dance? You are constantly looking, watching yourself, trying to improve, afraid to commit any fault. You are divided. A part of you is dancing. Another part of you is there, judgmental, standing by the side, condemning, criticizing. You are divided. You are split. Nijinsky was perfect because he was total. It used to happen that when he danced and he would take leaps in his dance, people could not believe their eyes. Even scientists could not believe their eyes. His leap was such that it was against the law of gravitation. It should not happen. And when he came back to the ground, he would come so slowly, like a feather. That too is against the law of gravitation. He was asked about it again and again. The more people asked, the more he became conscious of it. The more it started disappearing. A moment came in his life when it stopped completely. And the reason was that he became conscious of it. He lost his totality. Then he understood why it had disappeared. It used to happen, but it used to happen. Only when Nijinsky was completely lost in the dance. In that complete loosening, in that complete relaxation, one functions in a totally different world according to different laws. Let me tell you about one law, which sooner or later science is going to discover. I call it the law of grace. Just as there is a law of gravitation. 300 years ago, it was not known. It was functioning even before it was known. A law need not be known in order to function. The law was always functioning. It has nothing to do with Newton and the apple falling from the tree. Apples used to fall before Newton, too. It is not that Newton discovered the law, and then the apples started falling. The law was there. Newton discovered it. Exactly like that, another law is there, the law of grace, which uplifts. The law of gravitation pulls things downward. The law of grace lifts things upward. In yoga, they call it levitation. In a certain state of abandon, in a certain state of drunkenness, drunk with the divine, in a certain state of utter surrender, egolessness, that law starts functioning. One is uplifted. One becomes weightless. That was happening in Nijinsky's case. But you cannot make it happen, because if you are there, it will not happen. Ego is like a rock around your neck. When the ego is not there, you are weightless. And have you not felt it sometimes in your own life? There are moments when you have a kind of weightlessness. You walk on the earth, but still your feet don't touch the earth. You are 6 inches above. Moments of joy, moments of prayer, moments of meditation, moments of celebration, moments of love. And you are weightless. You are uplifted. And I say that sooner or later. Science will have to discover it. Because science believes in a certain principle. The principle of polar opposites. No law can be alone. It must have its opposite. Electricity cannot function with only one pole. Positive or negative, both are needed. They complement each other. Science knows it. that each law has its opposite to complement it. Gravitation must have a law opposite to it to complement it. That law, tentatively, I call grace any other name. May be possible in the future, because scientists, if they discover it, will not call it grace. But that seems to be the most perfect name for it.